Sean, are you gaming instead of filming?
What? How'd you know?
I live here, you fucking moron!
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Hey everybody, it's Tin Plated. I'm Rob.
I'm Sean, and this is Tin Plated Talks, episode 16.
Attempt number 2. Yes, number 2. We recorded this earlier today, and fucked it up by recording it in the wrong dimensions, so it looks like garbage.
Yep.
So we're back.
We recorded it in standard aspect ratio and standard definition. So unless you guys wanted a 640 by 480 version of this, yeah. So we're reshooting it. Also, we hope you liked the intro. It turned out better than we were hoping.
Yeah, and our standards are pretty low, so.
Yeah.
But kicking it off, the ever-useful Harry Drake says, if you could witness any historical event in person, which one would it be and why?
Well, I considered a lot of different things, a lot of options. I thought about the incident at Honnoji, which was when Oda Nobunaga was betrayed by Akechi Mitsuhide, who was his most trusted advisor, and it was the reason why the Oda clan isn't the dominant part of that era of Japanese history rather than the Tokugawa. And I was like, no. But I wanted to keep sort of that same sort of feel as a new form of government evolving, and under the assumption that I would be able to understand them, which of course I certainly hope that's implied, or we'd be kind of screwed and limited to English-speaking countries in the past, 400 years?
Not even, man. You ever seen what Shakespeare's plays are written in?
Well, I can understand Shakespearean English. Anything much earlier than as Elizabethan, I get rough. Canterbury, if I'm reading it, I can puzzle out. That's Middle English, isn't it?
Well, the Canterbury Tales are what modern English is based on. They're the reason our language looks the way it does. Chaucer basically invented modern English.
And I can puzzle that out. Anything before that is when I start to go, yeah. But I decided to go with the signing of the Magna Carta, because I thought it would be interesting to see the sort of things that led up to coercing and convincing what was to that point an absolute monarch to just give up some of his power to the nobles. So seeing King come out and be like, well, yes, you fine noble gentlemen have presented a very pointed argument, and so I believe that, yes, I will be signing this document. Please don't kill me and all of my family.
Not bad. For me, I want something that no one else has seen or knows about and that would answer some historic questions.
A good goal.
And one of the best ones I can think of is, you're familiar with Easter Island, right?
Yeah, the big stone, what do they call it?
Kapanuis.
Yeah, Kapanuis.
Anyway, the heads. Here's the thing. We know Easter Island used to be forested, inhabited, prosperous even. The people lived there in relative peace. They had a good life. They had a good diet.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day it all went to shit. We found the, remains of the last survivors.
Yeah.
And they were resorting to cannibalism.
Fuck.
Yeah, whereas we can tell from their bones, they used to have a very rich, balanced, healthy diet.
Interesting.
They destroyed their entire island, their culture, their way of life, and everything, building these heads. It's just one day they snapped and said, we must construct massive faces. They deforested their island to make timbers to help in the construction. Their crops all just died because people were too busy carving faces, and we have no idea why.
And this all happened within a normal lifespan, because you said that their bones showed a healthy diet.
Yes.
And then they went to cannibalism.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Exactly. We have no idea what led otherwise rational people with a good life to destroy themselves carving idols, but they did. And I want to be there at the construction of the first Easter Island head.
Well, that would certainly answer a lot of questions. Be hard to convince anybody of what you saw. Well, excuse me. I think your paper is very interesting. I note the only sources you have are from a research expedition. Could you tell us more details? Well, yes, sir. I traveled through time. Come again? Yeah, and there was some sort of mystical translator that allowed me to understand their language. I'm afraid we won't be able to publish your paper.
It involved a phone booth. It was an excellent adventure.
So there you go. Harry Drake's second question. Who's our favorite character from Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Earth King Boomy.
The nutso one?
Yes, well, the genius.
Two sides of the same coin?
Most powerful earthbender on the planet. He drove an entire Fire Nation army out of his city in a day. Just, I guess it's time to go to work now.
True.
And the other Earth King, which I don't really get, because they call it the Earth Kingdom.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of different kings, which seem to only rule their various city-states. But the other one's kind of a puss.
Well, the Earth Kingdoms doesn't really roll off the tongue as well.
I reckon.
It's probably just, used to be called that, and even though it's broken up into these little fiefdoms, they've sort of stuck with the name for tradition. Yay!
Well, there you go. But yeah, Earth King Boomy.
Well, I'd stick with the Earthbender theme, and I would go with Toph, actually. I liked her sort of optimistic cynicism. Everything's fucked, but I can make do with it anyway. That sort of stick-to-itiveness she had. She had a disability that really wasn't one because she had the same superpower as Daredevil, the ability to almost see. What a great power.
That's something I've always wondered. Do you remember from the Daredevil movie that was just awful?
Okay, give me a second and tear down the psychic blocks. I almost got to Elektra. I almost tore down Elektra. Okay.
Right.
I remember Daredevil now.
You remember the part where
Elektra was bad. The guy who snapped his own neck by going...
Yeah.
That was fucking dumb as hell.
Yeah. But you remember the part where it's raining and somehow that allowed him to see her face and he's like, oh, damn, you hot.
Yeah.
Right. I always wondered if Toph just took some mud and was, smeared it on there. It was like, okay, you know what? Let me just scrape that off. We'll pretend that never happened.
You just sort of waterbend that off.
Yeah. But yeah, I always wondered, because, we know that sand makes her vision kind of fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
But a really thick mud, she should be able to do just fine.
Yeah, imagine so.
And know what you look like. I wonder if she ever pulled that.
Or I guess she could, have them lay their head on the ground and roll across it, like when you're getting fingerprinted.
Right, yeah.
Not that I've ever been fingerprinted or booked or incarcerated for a weekend stay or an overnight hold. None of that's ever happened.
Plus, I guess she could just hit you in the face with a boulder.
Well, that might alter what she's looking at. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. And the attempt to measure something always changes it.
When you're using a rock to see anyway,
yeah,
the tiny changes really aren't getting taken into account.
I think that's sort of like the fractal coast problem,
Oh, you can never get a detailed enough map of the coast because you continually zoom in and just slightly, another turn here, another turn, now it goes back here.
The shorter your ruler is, the more coastline you have. But yeah, so I'm going with Toph.
Well, there you go. Now, Harry Drake's third question is, what is your favorite sequel movie?
Okay.
I would have to say mine's probably going to be Pacific Rim 2.
Pacific Rim 2? I haven't even seen the first one.
Oh, my God, it's great.
I'm not big on mecha.
I am all about
kaiju.
it. I like kaiju. But if it has to be one that's out, I would say The Raid 2. Because The Raid Redemption is one of the best action movies, and it has the best fight choreography on film.
I haven't seen either of the films.
And The Raid 2 is even better.
Cool. I would go with the third Die Hard movie, actually. Die Hard with a Vengeance. The one where Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson running around the town, solving wacky riddles. Something about it, I just really liked it.
Now, you know what's interesting about that? Is, with the exception of the first movie, which was Die Hard, none of the other movies were meant to be Die Hard. They were other movies that writers had come up with. They had their own backstory, their own characters, everything. They brought them to Hollywood, and, some producer goes, oh, well, this is fine and all, but we need another Die Hard, so I guess we'll just make that this. Here's your money. and also clean yourself up, whore. But
that does explain sort of how it sort of lost the thread. McLean went from everyday rough and tumble cop to, I don't know, counterterrorism agent? What the fuck happened?
bringing down a helicopter with a car.
That does seem a bit out there.
But yes, every one of the sequels, all of them, have been other movies that have just been shoehorned into Die Hard.
What about Live Free or Die Hard?
Absolutely.
I thought that was written for it.
Nope.
I remember Kevin Smith was in it.
Okay.
His part was kind of uneventful.
But that's actually one of just the secrets to movies.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of times sequels don't seem to quite fit, or they just don't have the thread of the first one.
Because they just mashed them in.
Yeah, they took a quality script that was meant to be its own thing and put it to a known franchise because it's a safer bet.
Boy. Sort of similar to problems you have in the video game world. Sequels are safer. But there you go, Harry Drake. That covers your question. So when we move on to 101 Terror Fiends, who asks, what was the first game console you played on? And do you think that now with better systems you could go back and play a game on that console? Yeah.
Yeah, my first was the NES. And
Same here.
I absolutely, to this day, I will fire up my NES. I'll play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I'll play...
All the Mario Brothers games were great.
Absolutely, they were. Even, I'll throw... My original Game Boy still works. I'll play Mega Man on it. Because...
4 colors, all of them green.
Right.
Old school.
And I think that's the difference between modern games and old school games, was now it's about the system. You know, it's about, look at these graphics and the pixels and the titty jiggle and 80 multiplayer at once.
Well, I think you still manage to get people who are trying to put some ingenuity into game design. But yeah, a lot of it is just, well, let's just slap some more textures on it. Let's just do a higher resolution and call it a fucking day.
The bottom line is a good game is good no matter what. You know, chess is a fun game, whether you're playing with little stick men or like a 3D printed statue made of ivory.
Yep.
It's a good game, and Mario will always be good because it's not about how it looks, it's about how it feels.
Now, there were some NES games from back then that I really enjoyed, and they just didn't hold up. But by and large, yeah, there's still plenty of games on the NES that can, will, and do play to this day.
To my mind, the older games that don't hold up are the ones that make the same mistake games make now. They play to the system, not to the game. Sonic, great example. Sonic only works in 2D side-scrolling fashion.
No.
And it does not work anywhere else because it's made for that system. It's not made to be a quality game in its own right.
Well, it's not like you can't just keep making side-scrollers, even with today's technology. Indie game studios do it all the time.
They do it too much.
Meh. You can still do some new ideas in it, but yeah, a lot of it is just, yes, let's make the same thing everybody else did. But you do see some ingenuity out there still, and that's great. Chocobo Joe asks if you could be in any anime, what anime would it be? I'm tempted to go with some of my favorite anime, but they're just slice of life series, and that would mean that I'm basically just in reality.
Yeah, you just want to live in Japan.
Actually, Japan would... I don't think I would like to live in Japan. Visit it, sure. I don't think I'd want to live there.
I get that.
So my other thought is I'd go with one of the, some sort of magical girl type series. Because, you know, got all that happy little magic and saving the world and cute little animal sidekicks who give you inspiration, and maybe they have wings, and maybe they're a little snarky, and I can be a pretty, pretty princess, and I can have a wand and twirl around and transform. In the name of the moon, I shall punish you.
You put the skirt on, I'm burning down this house. My thing would be, it's really based on where in the anime you fall in the pecking order. Because let's face it, if all you get to be is, oh dear God, when you go to sleep, I'm shaving your head.
Don't be jealous of the pigtails.
I need my beard braided. But at any rate, if you're just going to be, just the peasant, there's some anime where it would fucking suck. Attack on Titan? No, do not drop me in the middle of a village getting eaten.
Well, to be fair, I wouldn't want to be the heroes in Attack on Titan either. They have it pretty shitty.
But if I get to be like the main character or on their level, hell, pick one. You've got Fairy Tail, One Piece. You've got stuff that's anime-like, Ruby or Avatar. Be a great one. Be a bender? Fuck yeah. But I think for me, I'd have to go with Full Metal Alchemist.
Really?
Alchemy is pretty fucking awesome.
Alchemy is pretty cool.
And
if you lose a limb, boom, automail. It's better than anything we got now.
Well, and let's face it, you get the super alchemy at the price of a body part. Well, fuck, take my hands. Give me automail hands.
I would only want one automail hand, my offhand, because, the automail breaks. I want to still have some digits.
I'd go for a hand and I would take the...
I would literally give an arm and a leg.
Exactly, I was about to say, I'd do the Ed.
I would.
Arm and a leg, yeah. Because it does not stop him. He has never been hindered.
Well, I wouldn't say that. There was that entire arc where they had to go back home because they had to get it fixed.
Right, which is no different than if you had your arm broken, you'd have to let it mend in a hospital.
Right. It's
not that he has never been hindered as a result of having automail in a way greater than flesh. As a matter of fact, it's less. Oh, my automail arm is fucked up. Detach it, hook up a new one. That's way quicker than waiting on a bone to heal.
I suppose so. Chocobo Joe also asked us what is, frankly, a silly question. He asked, what generation of My Little Pony is your favorite? Now, come on. You should know that answer by now.
And you know what? Our answer, at least mine, answered this question preemptively. Let me ask you something, Sean. Who is best pony?
Well, that would be Rainbow Dash.
Rarity's best pony. And because Rarity's best pony, we know what generation I'm referring to. Why? Because Rarity only exists. She was, in fact, purpose-made for that generation. And Rarity's best pony, so it must be that generation.
Any other generation? My lovely new bag does not exist. So, y'all can go screw yourselves with your old ponies.
DJ Pawn 3.
With your nostalgia and shit. Psh.
Yeah.
Psh. I like to shoot zombies, asked us. Ever thought of doing an MST3K style video series for stuff like anime or Western animation? I don't want to be sued.
Because what would happen is we'd have two choices. One, we put up the anime and our little face cam is us, making jokes. In which case, we're now putting up someone's property for our benefit, and that's highly illegal.
Yeah.
Illegal, excuse me. The other option is we do like riff tracks. We give you our commentary and a way to sync it and tell you, go find this episode. Play this at the same time. Enjoy. The thing is while we could do that,
yeah,
that's a whole different set of skills than what we do. And it's not that we couldn't learn it. It's that, frankly, we don't have the time with our schedule, with everything else we do.
Yeah.
And it's, our non-Dark Souls videos get 80 views.
Yeah.
I don't really want to learn a brand new skill for 80 views.
Yep. We thought about doing it with Lightning Sisters, actually, but frankly, we didn't want to sit through Lightning Sisters enough times to come up with the riff tracks.
Because we tried. We honestly tried.
We did. For those of you who don't know, the riff tracks and MST3K guys, they aren't just riffing live. No, they've watched the movie several times. They've written those jokes. They've planned it out. It doesn't take away from the skill and comedy of what they're doing. They produce some very good work. But it's not off the cuff. You put a lot of work into it. Those guys are serious.
If it was just, let's sit around and talk about it, they couldn't nail that kind of consistency. That level of delivery only comes from practice.
Yep.
You'd be tripping over the joke as it forms. You'd be running over each other. You just don't get it. They deliver a consistent product because they put in a lot more work than people think.
Yeah. So, sorry, I like to shoot zombies. No misties out of us.
Not yet. Maybe someday when we have like an army of 10 turns.
And
Sure.
We can delegate most of this work. That'd be super.
We can just do the creative shit we like and not the drudgery.
No. Finishing up, Damien Tuck asks us, what's your favorite band or music group? Can be any genre. And thank you for not shoehorning me, because I'm not sure I could give you my favorite shoegazer trip-hop band.
I don't even know what that is.
Shoegazer is some sort of subset of emo music. And trip-hop is like trippy hip-hop.
So, like, house?
No, house music is a different genre.
Well, for me, my music tastes fluctuate, and they always have. Right now, I'm listening to a lot of Lindsey Sterling. Well, let me correct that. I'm watching a lot of Lindsey Sterling because, god damn, that girl can move. And is also a very talented musician. But, then that ass. But Kirby Crackle, I'm a huge fan of. They do nerd rock. They have a song where they use the Green Lantern oath.
Yeah.
The whole thing as lyrics. They recite it.
Seems reasonable.
Their music video is about a battle with Sinestro. It's great. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. But there's really only ever been 2 bands that I've enjoyed long-term. One since the crib, and one since, like, middle school. And I've been a lifelong fan of AC/DC, and for more than a decade, I've really enjoyed Linkin Park.
See, AC/DC, didn't really like that era of metal. They're fine, they're good. Linkin Park, I've soured on because I just associate it too much with high school, and there's nothing there that I really want music bringing back. Didn't miss high school at all, period. Which is weird, because what I listened to in high school, System of a Down, I can still listen to that today.
For me, it's, and no joke, I listen to AC/DC in the crib, probably in the uterus, all things being considered, but, and it was such a big part of, like, my football or rugby routine to listen to this playlist that I'd had, that it was a long time. It was years before I could hear Back in Black or Thunderstruck without, like,
Thunderstruck!
Unconsciously wrapping tape around my knuckles and my heart rate going real high and my, like, oxygenation levels pushing it because it's like, oh shit, got to get in the zone. It's time to hurt things. If you ever needed, with no worry about collateral damage or casualties, just something fucked up, if you could give me, like, Blinders and Bose headset with AC/DC, punch through a brick wall.
My favorite band, and some people might want to give me shit for this, for them not being real punk. I know they're not real punk. That's Blink-182. I really like Blink-182. Their newer stuff is a little weak, but Dude Ranch was great. Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. They're self-titled. Those were very, very solid albums. I liked them very much. Cheshire Cat and Buddha, whatever. But one of my favorite bands, they're pretty much the only one that has been consistently a favorite for a long time. I mean, other things have come and gone. The Pogues, Darby O'Gill, Flogging Molly, like I mentioned earlier, System of a Down. But Blink's always been there.
There you go. And,
I'm old school hating Tom, for anybody who gets that reference. But that does bring up another question. It was something that actually occurred to me while I was riding in the car the other day. What is an album that you like, but you don't like anything else that band has ever done?
See, I have a hard time with that because I've never been an album guy.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, in my entire life, I've owned 8 CDs. One of them was American Classics by the Maryland Philharmonic. And the rest were just AC/DC or various mix albums that, I'd put together and burned.
Okay.
I'm back from that Napster day.
Oh, shit,
which I did not partake in because that would have been illegal.
Metallica's going to come after you. They're going to come through that door with their walkers
Right?
And they're going to be very violently angry with you.
I bet they are. Throw their used heroin needles at me.
Yep.
But, you know, I was never an album guy, but there is one band who has one song that I enjoy.
Yeah.
One. And everything else they've ever done, I have a violent reaction to. I hate it so much.
All right.
And that is Green Day.
Green Day.
I cannot fucking stand Green Day. But I very much like Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
So you don't like Basket Case?
Nope.
Time of Your Life?
Nope.
I can understand not liking American Idiot because
I cannot stand it.
it was a shitty song.
Not only was it a shitty song, it was enjoyed by shitty people who would listen to it and be like, yeah, America sucks. I want to go somewhere else because everybody here is stupid. And I'd be like, what are your grades in high school, young man? I'm kind of failing. Yes, you're why America is stupid.
You know, I think we're thinking of different Green Days because I think of Green Day and I think of Dookie. I don't think of American Idiot and Post. That to me is a different band that just happens to have the same name and people in it. Like, you know, do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all I had once? Basket Case. You don't like that one?
Not really.
Ah. Well, for me, it occurred to me because it was playing on the radio. I like Yourself or Someone Like You by Matchbox 20, but pretty much everything else the band or Rob Thomas has done separately, I don't like him. Bent was kind of but that's the closest I get to liking anything else they ever did. But pretty much everything on Yourself or Someone Like You was great. I loved it. Oh, well. And that's not even getting into one-hit wonders who... There's a phenomena that I think the world will maintain from now till eternity. And it's so delightful because you get to look back 10 years ago and go, oh, Christ, I remember that band. Whatever happened to them?
You know, what's funny is a lot of times you find out they're huge somewhere else.
A band that... the Barbie Girls song by Aqua?
Yeah.
Can you name a single other song by them?
I cannot.
I can. And holy shit, they're good. Aqua is actually a good fucking band. They've got a really good sort of slow song called Turn Back Time. They've got some more happy, silly songs like Dr. Jones. Or was that Toy Box?
All right.
I get the two mixed up.
Eiffel 95.
Eiffel 65.
65, yeah.
Well, Blue, of course, is the one you're thinking of.
That's the one that everybody knew because it was all that was on the radio for like 3 months.
But they also did a song called My Console that was just a list of songs on the PlayStation.
Interesting.
And it was about how much fun it is to play the PlayStation. The Edge off the same album as Blue, that was very good. But it just never took off.
The Baja Men.
Well, I believe they did do a follow-up where they told us who let the dogs out.
No shit.
Yeah.
Who?
Turns out they did.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of a recursive... You know, it ruins the whole thing now.
Now I'm thinking of this video. We're coming up on the end here, so I'm just going to give you guys something to punch into the YouTube search and watch this.
Oh, is it what I'm thinking?
It's called Chacarron.
It is not.
Chacarron. And it's apparently by a guy who is kind of big in the country. It's some Spanish-speaking country. I can't understand him because I swear to you, the chorus or hook or whatever the song is... Just watch it. It's like the guy's having a stroke for 2.5 minutes and no one will help him.
After you watch that, if you want to lose all faith in music...
Rebecca Black Friday?
No.
She did a video where she watched her own music video and cringed heavily.
I imagine she would. The Axis of Awesome.
Yeah?
The 4 chords that make up all music.
Mm-hmm. I fucking love that.
They go through songs from everybody, from Lady Gaga to the fucking Beatles.
Yeah.
And every single song that...
And Pavarotti.
...that you like, that you've ever liked, or you will ever like, it's the same 4 chords. Benny,
the blonde guy...
Yeah.
The short-haired blonde guy... has done a couple other videos where he did one 4 more chords, where he does, again, a shitload of songs that are the same 4 chords, and then he did a 6 chords video, which once again proves they're all the same song.
You know, I think that is useful information if you're ever stuck, like if you ever get stuck, thrown back in time.
Yeah.
If you know those 4 fucking chords, you can go anywhere on Earth at any time, pound out those 4 chords in a reasonable rhythm, and you will make a living as a musician.
Oddly enough, not true. Only Western music uses those 4 chords. Eastern music, like from China and Japan, doesn't. There is only one universal scale, and that's the pentatonic scale. If you want to really fuck your head up, punch in Bobby McFerrin pentatonic scale. This is the guy who did Don't Worry, Be Happy. But he points out that every single human being, he's done this little demonstration he does. I don't want to spoil it for you. Just watch it. He's done this little demonstration everywhere from African villages to Japan to all throughout America and Canada and Europe. Everyone instinctively knows the pentatonic scale. If you set someone up with ba, 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 they will instinctively know the last notes. They know the scale.
Interesting.
Yeah. But so there you go. We've given you guys some more YouTube videos to watch. If I'm not feeling lazy, I probably will be. I may even put links to some of these videos down below in the description. You know, it's right down there. Yeah. Okay. Look down there. But at any rate, thanks for watching. Thank you so much for your comments and questions. We need them desperately because we don't like thinking any more than we have to. So please ask us anything you can think of. Ask us for stories. Ask us for details on awkward personal questions. I don't care. I'll just whore myself out for the internet's amusement. Follow our Twitter, like our Facebook page. We've got an Instagram. We've got a Snapchat. I think that about covers it.
Yeah, we are on every app but Tinder. So
Grinder.
We're not on that either.
Robb is. He doesn't know it, but he is.
This will be the last episode of 10 Plated Ever, as I'm going to jail and Sean's going to the morgue.
Well, at any rate, thank you for watching. I'm Magical Princess Sean.
I'm future convicted murderer Robb.
Bye, guys.